$4,300. That is what a Ford dealer in Texas quoted a 2021 F-150 owner to replace a transmission control module. The independent shop down the road had the part for $380, but they could not install it. Not because they lacked the skill, because Ford's proprietary software, locked behind a $5,000 per year dealer licensing agreement, refused to recognize the module without an authorized VIN flash. That owner paid the $4,300. He had no choice, and Ford engineered it that way on purpose. This is not a story about one truck or one dealer. This is a story about a decade-long, industry-wide decision to turn your truck into a revenue machine they never stop collecting from, long after you signed the title. Go back to 2010. You could buy a Ford F-150 with the 5.4-liter Triton V8, pull the engine yourself, take it to any shop within 50 miles, buy OEM or aftermarket parts from any supplier, and have it running by the weekend. The truck did not care who fixed it. It cared that it got fixed. That era ended with a specific model year and a specific decision. In 2018, Ford introduced the modular body control module architecture across the F-150 lineup, a system that ties powertrain, safety, and comfort functions to encrypted VIN-specific calibrations. A replacement module bought from any source other than a Ford-authorized dealer cannot be activated without a Ford-certified technician running Ford's IDS diagnostic software. That software costs $5,400 per year for a shop license. Most independent shops do not pay it. They did not build a better truck, they built a better trap. The 10-speed 10R80 automatic transmission launched in the 2017 F-150 and quickly spread to the Mustang and Expedition. By 2022, it had accumulated over 4,200 NHTSA complaints for hard shifts, shuddering between second and third gear, and complete torque converter failure before 40,000 miles. Ford issued Technical Service Bulletin 19-2346, acknowledging the shudder condition and offering a fluid change as the fix. The fluid change resolves the symptom for approximately 8,000 miles. It does not resolve the condition. When the torque converter actually fails, and the TSB data suggests it does at a rate disproportionate to previous Ford 6-speed units, a dealer replacement comes in at $3,800 to $5,200 depending on region. An independent transmission shop can source a rebuilt converter for $900, but the relearn calibration sequence for the 1OR80 requires Ford IDS, or the $2,200 Snap-on Z-Use platform with the Ford-specific module. Most small shops own neither. The repair exists. The permission to perform it does not. General Motors ran the same play from a different angle. In 2014, GM introduced active fuel management on the 5.3-liter Ecotec 3V8 across the Silverado and Sierra lineup. The system deactivates 4 of 8 cylinders during light load to improve fuel economy. GM projected a 5 to 8% fuel savings. What they did not project publicly, though internal engineering documents later surfaced in class action litigation, was a failure mode that would consume lifters at catastrophic rates. By 2021, over 50,000 NHTSA complaints had been filed specifically against the AFM lifter failure on the 5.3-liter engine in the 2014 through 2021 Silverado and Sierra. Lifter replacement at a GM dealer runs $3,500 to $6,000, depending on how far the damage has spread into the camshaft. An independent shop can do the same job with quality aftermarket lifters for under $1,800. But here is the catch. GM's warranty repair process requires the lifter replacement to be logged in their proprietary global diagnostic system. If an independent shop does the repair, the truck's remaining powertrain warranty is voided on that system. General Motors spent an estimated $2.2 billion developing the AFM system across its truck and SUV lines. They knew the failure mode. They launched it anyway. That is not engineering. That is a subscription model with an engine block. Ram followed in 2019 with the introduction of the eTorque mild hybrid system on the 1500's 5.7-liter Hemi. The 48-volt belt-integrated starter generator added a layer of electronic complexity that requires Stellantis's YTEC 2.0 diagnostic platform for any battery management system calibration. The Y-Tech license runs $1,500 per year for independent shops. Across the industry, Ford, GM, Ram, the pattern is identical. Introduce proprietary software dependency, price independent shops out of the authorization, and drive service revenue back to the dealer network. According to the National Automobile Dealers Association's own 2022 annual report, dealer service and parts revenue reached $116 billion in the United States alone. That is not a byproduct of selling trucks. That is the business model. The truck is the delivery mechanism for a lifetime service contract you never signed. You bought the truck. They kept the key. In 2021, the Alliance for Automotive Innovation, a lobbying group representing Ford, GM, Stellantis, Toyota, and 7 other manufacturers, spent $14.3 million lobbying against state right-to-repair legislation across 18 state legislatures. They killed bills in Virginia, Ohio, and Minnesota that would have required manufacturers to provide independent shops with the same diagnostic tool access as dealer networks. Massachusetts passed a right-to-repair law in 2020 with 75% of the popular vote. The Alliance for Automotive Innovation filed suit in federal court within 60 days to block its implementation. As of March 2026, the litigation is ongoing and the law remains suspended. Meanwhile, the average American truck owner pays 40% more for dealer service than for equivalent work at an independent shop, according to Consumer Reports' 2023 Vehicle Ownership Cost Analysis. On a truck kept for 10 years, that premium compounds to between $8,000 and $14,000 in excess service costs. That money does not go to better parts or better technicians. It goes to sustaining a monopoly on the permission to fix what you already own. Quality became a cost center to be minimized. Your dependency became the product. Here is what you can actually do right now. If you own a 2014 or earlier Silverado or Sierra with the naturally aspirated 5.3-liter LS-based V8, no active fuel management, no electronic throttle body issues, those engines are fully serviceable with standard hand tools and a basic OBD2 scanner. The LM7 and L59 variants have documented fleet longevity exceeding 280,000 miles on original internals, with correct oil change intervals. Parts are universally available from Rock Auto, Summit Racing, and AC Delco directly. If you are buying a used truck today, the safest window for an F-150 is 2011 through 2016, before the 10-speed transmission and before the modular BCM lockout. Look for the 5.0-liter Coyote V8 or the 6.2-liter in that generation. Both are carbureted, era simple in their serviceability despite their displacement. For diagnostic independence, the Autel Maxi C-Sys MS 906BT runs $1,100 and covers advanced bidirectional controls on most domestic and import trucks through 2022 without a recurring license fee. It will not unlock VIN locked modules on post-2018 Fords. Nothing will except Ford IDS. But it will read and clear codes, perform active tests on ABS, transmission, and HVAC systems, and give you data that a dealer charges $150 just to retrieve. Support the Repair Act, the federal right to repair legislation introduced in 2023 by Representatives Neil Dunn and Marie Gluesenkamp Perez. It would require manufacturers to provide independent shops and vehicle owners with access to the same diagnostic and repair information available to dealer networks. The Auto Care Association maintains a live tracking page for state and federal right to repair legislation. Find it. Use it. The knowledge has not disappeared. It lives in forums like FullSizeTruck.com, in independent diesel shops that have been running since before the lockouts, and in communities of fleet operators who still maintain trucks the old way because their bottom line depends on it. Find those people. Learn from them. They are the last mechanics who answer to you instead of to a software license. The truck on your driveway still has the same steel in the frame it always did. The question is whether you still have the right to use it. Next video, we are going inside the dealer scan tool itself, what it actually reads, what data it sends back to the manufacturer, and why your truck has been reporting to Ford, GM, and Ram since the day you drove it off the lot. You are not going to like what it collects. If this channel is giving you information the industry is spending millions to keep buried, subscribe. Not for the algorithm. Because what comes next is worse than what you just heard. You did not buy a truck. You bought a lease you can never stop paying.